Okay. Hey, I'd like to start with a brief introduction for those who are new to GovReports about who we are, why we do what we do. GovReport is the complete SBR lodgement portal for business, BAS, and tax agents to securely prepare and submit compliance reports to the respective government agency, including the tax office for all the tax returns, business compliance forms, lodgements, payroll tax to all the state and territory revenue offices, and ASIC financial report for listed companies. Why we started, from the early days, we hear tax payers and tax practitioner issues in meeting compliance. Not only technology available was not reliable at the time, the process was difficult to follow. We learned that they were in desperate need for more efficient, cost-effective, and more streamlined system to manage their business, personal affairs, from the simplest to the most complicated arrangements. So we developed and released GovReports with an aim to provide secure and flexible data management service with privately hosted cloud applications. We integrate a map data source to make your workflow process easier. It's a direct and end-to-end service available at your fingertips with online access. Features including the automatic pre-filling from ATO and off software. As you know, for some of you who have been using GovReport for activity statements, pre-filling from ATO including the document ID, the PYG installment amounts, and of course the issue dates and so forth. And of course, because we integrate with software, with major software, for example, AIMWellbe, Xero, QuickBooks, and of course and other software as well for including those desktop software and AIMWellbe earlier versions, Reckon, and of course other software in CSV file format. So that means, like I said, it's basically to make your life easier. And for tax return, it is at the moment it's semi-pre-filled. And soon it's going to be automatically full pre-filled for all your tax returns. At this stage, it's basically work in progress for us. And of course, electronic record keeping, which is okay. I've got a question from Lynn. She cannot hear. So I'm just responding to Lynn. Okay, Kelly has the same issues. They can't hear. I would suggest to use the telephone option. Just give me one moment to use the telephone number. Okay, so I'll just continue on. For those that can hear me, my apologies. Electronic record keeping, it's a lot easier than it is with your email. Because you can basically simply go to the client, the exact client or the lodgement date or whatever, and be able to find out the lodgement that you have made or anything that you have saved or draft. You can simply go straight into that rather than searching your email or your filing cabinets to see whether you have done it or not, or through your computers and search for that. And of course, once you've made the lodgement, you get an instant validations or lodgement receipt, which means we have cases where in the past, many ATO would come back after 6 months of lodgement, or you have done the lodgement, and claiming that they have not received the lodgement. Some clients get really confused and they come back to us, and we basically say, look, there is a lodgement receipt. You simply contact the ATO and let them know this is the time and the date that has been that the report was lodged through GovReports, and the lodgement receipt that you got there, so that they need to check on their systems to basically pull out that report. Because it's electronic, there is guarantee that there is no loss of lodgement. It's there, it's in their system, and they can track and trace it and trace the lodgement. Of course, and the lodgement is, you can view the lodgement in real time. So once the lodgement is, the lodgement is being made, you certainly, can, in a couple of minutes, you can also go to the ATO portal and check that, it will be updated on the ATO portal. In many cases in the past, we have seen that BAS agents lodge the PAYG payment summaries a couple of minutes later, the tax agents go in and do the tax return as it appears on their tax agent portal. Okay. Currently, with GovReports, you have the options to save and draft, the reports. So once the report has been saved, or validated, you can then send it to your clients and get authorization from your clients. ATO accepts the email confirmation or authorization. However, we do have the optional and additional service, which is a digital signature for those who, who like that, who basically prefer that extra service. I will go through that option later, both options later. For now, just let me go through the features that we have for those that are new. And of course, the save and resume, like I said, it's because you can work at your own pace, save it and come back to it at the time that's suitable for you. Of course, in many cases we have disruption during the work while you're working on the client, and certainly it's easier to come back to it with GovReports. The ability to amend and revise reports from GovReports, it means that, regardless of whether you have, whether you or your clients have lodged the report previously through another medium, whether it's through the ATO portal or through another software, you certainly can go back to GovReports, and then if there is a need for an amendment, you can simply go into and select that report for to lodge as an amendment. There are many more features. But certainly we'll go through and you can identify them and monitor features that are beneficial for you as well. Understand that this is, for many of you who have been using GovReport, this is the familiar theme that we have. This is our previous version. Like I said, for a long while we have listened to your suggestions and feedback, and we wanted to implement the change with our previous versions. It's more difficult for us to basically implement because we use an old technology these days. It changes so quickly, and it was difficult for us to implement those changes and to alter the look and feel into the previous version. So it's, like I said, it's difficult for you as a user to change anything, and it's even more difficult for us to make that decision to change to the new platform. But we needed to change because we wanted to implement implement some of the suggestions that you have made, and certainly a lot more services that we've seen that could be beneficial for you. With the new UI, you can in the old versions you can customize we have introduced the customizations of your subscription, your services, the services that you need. With the new dashboard, with the new UI, you can customize not only the services that you need, but also the dashboard, the look and feel, how you want to use it. It is a lot more intuitive and more flexible, and a lot more space for us in terms of adding more services as we come along. At the moment, we say that if you are currently using the new versions, it's about 60–70% completed. Once we fully complete it with the services that we have already in plan, certainly, it's good to start using as soon as possible. And like I said, we really want to push everyone to go on to the new platform. I believe it is a better workflow and accessibility. So let me now go through the demo and show you how, basically the navigation through how to use the new version. You can ask me questions along the way. To simply just send me the text, the chat message. Hey, so when you log in, this is the dashboard that you would see. Now, because it can customize, and I'll go through the customizations right now just very quickly, so because everyone will be seeing a little bit different, so don't be alarmed. It's basically because I from the earlier use today, I've changed some of the things. So otherwise, if you need to change some of what you see here is, one is that, let me just go through and just add all the services in on the dashboard. And of course, what you see here, even if you have all the options there, there will be a lot more services coming on through to the dashboard. So you can then select what you want to see and what you want on your dashboard. So on the left-hand side, you got the left-hand menu. My clients, my users, my lodgements, similar, exactly the same functionalities as you would have in the older versions. So my clients would give you a list of all your clients. Whether you wanted to see it in the block of 10 or 100, you can just basically change that. For me, because I've got just slightly more than 10, so I'm just going to list all my clients right there. There's a drop down for each one of for every page that you go to. There's a little arrows. If you drop down, you see the categorized options where you can see your other list of clients as well, or your other list of depending on the page that you're on. So in this case, you got my clients, which is either the active clients, archive clients are those clients that you have removed. If you have lodged anything for any clients, and along the way you decided you no longer provide service for that client, then you can remove it. Certainly, it has to go to the archive because of compliance reasons. We cannot remove any clients with lodgement within the 5 years period, as according to the ATO system compliance requirements. And of course, if you've got CLM and you want to tag the clients in terms of the work in progress, certainly you can tag that, and basically it becomes those clients that you can specifically go into and search for. So that's my clients. I won't go through the adding clients, and we'll go back to it later on. For now, we just go through what we see in each of these options. The left-hand menu. My users will list out all the users that you have on your account, and of course you can add new. And once you click on any of the clients, you can go in and edit the role, the responsibility of each of these users. My lodgement, like I said, similar to the old versions, you would have the list, the history list of all your lodgements, the EFT reconciliation statements, anything that you've saved, the saved reports list. So basically all your saved reports, all the reports that you have saved, you can get access to it from here, regardless of, basically with all your clients. And then the back payment options, the historic lodgements, basically these are these options are already there in the old version. The only thing that's new is the outstanding reports. The outstanding reports settings or update list is available from here, and of course configurations, client configurations. This is when you add a new, you just basically you're adding outstanding report just the first time to your account. Then you need the client configurations. It's basically to replace it's more or less it's another option for you to, in terms of what do you call it? Blanket switch for all your clients. It's just in the past when we added outstanding reports in previously, we turned everyone on for that account, and we had a lot of complaints from users saying that some of their clients they do not do the activity statements for, and therefore they wanted options where they can deselect the outstanding report for that client. So this is where you add them, but I'll come back to that later. I'll go back to the dashboard and basically go through what options you have. So that's basically the left-hand menu. On the top and on every screen or page that you work on, that we have added the search field, which then what it means is that for a lot of BAS agents or bookkeepers who go to client site, and you don't, because when you log into GovReports previously, you would have to go through my client list and then search for the client that you have, and sometimes it's embarrassing. With the new version, you can simply type in the name of your client, and it will pull up only the client that you want to work on. And of course, because in this case, I've got this client which has a couple of branches in there, but it basically pull up just the client that you are searching for. And if you click on that, you can then just basically, it will show that GovReport is working just completely for you to work on that particular client. So that's basically, I'll come back to it. I'll just, like I said, I just want to walk through all the options that you have available on your dashboard. Then of course Save Report is a shortcut for you to get access to directly to all your Save Reports. So when you click on that, it will take you to the list of all your Save Reports. So you've got other staff working for you, and they basically prepare the activity segments or prepare the tax return. You can simply just go in and select the one that, like if it's already been validated and the client has signed for it or whatever, check the status. You click that, the options would then appear that whether you want to lodge it or you want to delete the report that you have selected. So it depends on you. But having said that, if you do want to go in and check the working of the activity statements or the tax return or the report that you selected, just simply click on that. It will take you to that page where you get access to the report that has been drafted or saved. Then you can go in, edit, or send an email to your clients depending on your options. For now, let me go back to the dashboard again. So your lodge reports, again, similar to the lodgement history, my lodgement history, you can get access to it directly. And of course, there's a search option where you can search for your client in particular that you need to get access to. The outstanding reports will list out all your outstanding reports. This is an optional feature, and optional and additional features that if you want to add them to your account, it's basically list out it's connect with the ATO and list out all the activity segment that has been issued for the clients that you have selected for outstanding reports, and advise you when the upcoming report is due, and of course all the overdue reports that you have not done. So that if there is anything that you have not done or it's upcoming, you certainly can click on prepare, and it will take you directly to the form without having you to search for the client and select the form, etc. So once you click prepare, it will take you straight to the form that you need to prepare. That particular, for this one, in particular, it's an activity statement for that month, for the IES. So that's the outstanding report. Of course, at the moment, the news sections and the news and updates, we have not made that live yet. It's available. It's over. You can remove that for now, but certainly we will make that live very shortly in a couple of weeks, where you have the news, any news from the ATO, from GovReports and ICB or any other association. We will add it along the way. And of course, any new releases in the future, we will minimize sending out emails to you by having an update or box where you can see all the news and updates and services and tips and traps, etc. from GovReports. Like I said, you switch on what you want to see when you want to see that. And of course, your profile, if you don't want it there, certainly it's good for those people that have, more you're working on client side, and certainly when you have your picture on there, it means that people should not go into your screen or your working. And the lodgement report, which is exactly the same in the old version. So if this is not applicable for you and you don't want to see the working of you can remove that. But certainly there will be a lot more options for you to choose from. The due dates will list out basically the upcoming due dates of lodgement. It's usually common for everyone. Just reminding you, just if you want to have these on your dashboard, then you certainly can add. Like I said, because you can customize it, just remember that you can move things around and customize it however you want it to look. So you can move things around how you want it to. Just you click on your mouse and click and drag where you want it to be. So that's basically the dashboard. I'll now go through the settings, your settings. Now, in the new versions, a lot of settings we basically give you a lot more flexibility to manage and control your how you use GovReports. So if you click on settings, my business, of course, you don't unless you change your ABN or you change your business name or your business structure, then you need to go back and do the business settings. To change anything on there, click on Edit My Business, which is on the top right corner here, and that will enable you to go in and change the where you need to change. So whether it's an address or it's a telephone number or it's the trading name has been changed, just basically click to change. Now, of course, just make sure, now this is where it's important. The business settings is important for us because this is the information the information you enter here is normally cross-checked with your with our back end, and also the ATO, the Tax Practitioner Board, and other government agency when you do the lodgement. So make sure whatever that you change there, it is matching with your OFT, the details that you have on your OFT, and of course the ATO database or Tax Practitioner Board database or any other government agency database. This is where we cross-check information. We use this information. We then cross-check with these government agencies before or when you do the lodgement. Of course, the profile setting. This is where we identify when you contact us for support or when you or when you basically contact us for any issues, and then we come back to you. The information that you have entered here is when is for us to identify who you are when you talk to us or when you communicate with us. You can add your logo or your photo. It's up to you how you want to use it, depending on your business structure. Like I said, for me, I add my photo because so many people in the office, and certainly if they entering my when my photo is in there, it's pretty awkward for me to for someone else to come in and try to click onto your account or your computer or settings. So that's entirely up to you. The user access settings, so if you have more than one users on your account, you certainly can go in here and edit their profile and of course their role and responsibilities. I'll go through that section later on in the later part of this webinar. So you can certainly do the same thing, the editing of the users access from my users directly from the dashboard on the left-hand menu. So I won't go through it here. I'll go to the next one, which is the email settings. Email settings, now we introduced that late last year. It's basically now, it means in the past, in the older versions, every time you send an email out or you receive an email, it's by default it will be coming from GovReports. In the new versions, you can customize the email settings, so it can be sent directly from your own email, whether it's a Gmail or it's a Yahoo email or your own customized email, i.e. your own personalized email. So to do that, just click on Edit Email Setting on the top right corner and go in and change the email where the incoming email settings is when you receive lodgement receipts. So when you go prepare a report, and then you want to make sure you get a lodgement receipt and you want to receive a copy of that, then that's the incoming email. So that will be sending to your email. Now, of course, the outgoing email settings is when you're sending email out to your clients or to someone else. Basically, as you send a draft report from GovReports to whoever that you want to send to. If it's not your client, it might be someone else. You can certainly send it from GovReports. But previously, it was by default, it will be sending from GovReports setup, GovReports account. Now you can customize it to your own email and be able to track who you send it to directly from your send folder from your email. Now there's a couple of issues. Now I've done quite a few of these webinar, and I put here incoming emails info@govreports.com.au. Just make sure this is my own settings, not yours. So you need to change to put that into your email with incoming email, where you which email you want to receive these lodgement receipts, and of course where it's stemming from. It's just that we got quite a few people. They changed the settings to exactly the same that I have in this demo, and of course it's a trouble for us because your clients would not be receiving the email, or you would not be receiving the email that's intended for, and it's pretty awkward. Like I said, if it's your own email, like I said, just go into the whatever that's applicable to you. If it's your own email settings, just make sure that you have the SMTP server and the SMTP port details. It's exactly the same thing as you would have if you were to set up your email access for your phone, or from your iPad or whatever, or from another email. If you want to receive email from there, these are the things that you would get from your web developer, or if you have your own private emails. So, like I said, for me, it's because we use email for our own GovReports, so hopefully this is going to work for me. Once you've done that, you can copy and paste the email signature. If you want your clients to have your clients, when they receive your email, they would have your business details and so forth, etc., or your email settings, or your email signature settings. Just copy and paste it onto here, click submit, and that will basically show you what it looks like. Once it's done, just make sure, if this is the first time that you're doing the email settings, you're editing it, just make sure you test the outgoing email, make sure it's working, because even with the test outgoing emails, you can also check it from your, I'm just going to check it now, so you can also check it from your emails. Which email is it? Info at GovReports. Yeah, I've got info. There you go. The test email has come through. So it is working. So like I said, once you've got it set up, just make sure that you test the outgoing email to make sure that before you send any real draft, any real reports to any client or yourself or whatever. Okay, so now there is a couple, now because this is a testing account, I do need to clarify this. This is a testing account in a testing environment. All of the clients in here are not real and ABNs, and because it is testing in a testing environment, it's not as good as your productions, and it's a lot slower because we try to set up on a different system so that we can show you how the real system works. Even though it's a testing account, it also interacts with the ATO on a not as good connection. So now there are a few things that are missing in here, but it will be in your account. So I click a little bit too quick. For those that didn't see, I click on my account, which is on the top left here. Once you click on that, for those that are new to GovReport, the first time when you register for GovReport, you'll be coming in, when you log in, this is the page that you will be logging into. So you got the account settings, which is what I went through earlier, and manage my account, which is basically your relationship with us. I'll walk through that shortly after. For now, let me go through the security settings, which we have. We want specifically, there's a couple of changes in here. Now, previously you guys have been using the off-key settings when you set up the account with us, and off-key has been hosted by GovReports. Going forward, for all ATO lodgements, there is a new process which is called the ATO nominations. So you need to nominate the software that you want to use for all the cloud software that you want to use via ATO, whether it's through the telephone system or through the ATO portal access. So I'll walk through with the off-key setting. I possibly won't go through that for now, simply because most of you would have already been using that, and it is going, mind you, it is going to be obsolete soon. For now, it's basically the off-key is still required for those that are using GovReports for lodgement with other government agencies, including all the OSR or the ASIC. But for ATO nomination is a must be done before March 31st. We have had the ATO nominations within GovReports since October last year, in early October. However, because we were the first to implement ATO nominations, it means that ATO might not be ready. So for that reason, we have not contacted anyone to basically to make the change. But having said that, between now and March, certainly you can go into to GovReports and do the ATO nomination. The system has ATO system has been stabilized, and we haven't heard much issues for a little while. So we possibly will send out an email to everyone in the next couple of weeks and advise people to change to do the ATO nomination. And to do the ATO nomination, you can do, there's a couple of ways that you can get access to it. One was the early version which I show you, or click on settings and click on ATO nomination, and you would arrive to this page or this screen. When you get to here, the software ID, there will be a box. It would say generate. If you haven't clicked generate, it would show, it normally would show that generate, and you would click that. It would then generate the number. Everyone will be given or issue a different number. So just make sure once you click generate, you get the whatever number that you got there. Copy that. Copy, and then you would need to go to contact the ATO. There's a telephone number. You need to either contact the ATO to complete the nomination process. That can be done through the telephone for the customer service or from the ATO portal access. Now I've got another question from Shirley. I'm not too sure. She's Shirley got a question. She keep on getting kicked out from the webinar. I don't know. It might be the internet. I'm not too sure. Is anyone else having the same issues? Okay, so it looks like no one else is having the same issue. So Shirley, I will have this webinar being recorded, so you can revisit it afterward. For now, basically, like I said, you can, once you got the software ID, you can contact the ATO. Now, through the telephone system, unless you can't, you're at your client site and you need to get access to it immediately, you can call them on that number. My experience in the past is that I contact the ATO to do the nomination, see whether they know the process. It took me 45 minutes on the phone waiting to get through to customer service. So, but luckily there is an easier way, and that's through the ATO portal. So most of you would have access to the ATO portal. Log into the ATO portal. Once you click here, it basically would take you to the help guide and show you step by step. But otherwise, the process is that you log into. Yes, you still have Esther. Esther has a question where you still have access to the BAS agent portal. If you activate GovReport as a nominated software provider, yes, you can still get access to the ATO portal. And also, you still can use other software as well. For now, basically, once you log into the ATO portal, you need to log in again to Access Manager. Once you log into Access Manager, select My Nominated Software Providers from the list, and click Next. Confirm that you want to nominate a provider. Select GovReports or choose or write in GovReports name. Select it, confirm it. Put in the software ID number that you have got from GovReports earlier. Enter the details or just paste it. Click Next and confirm. That's basically the process of an ATO nomination. Just follow the flow. Once you the process that once you click on My Nominated Software Provider, just follow the process and you'll be done. Now, the good thing is, I know that many of you use different mediums and different software to do reporting. The nomination process is not exclusive, so it means that you can nominate another provider if you wish to do that. So for now, it's basically that's the nomination process from GovReports. Once you've done the nomination from ATO, you need to come back and click Activate Nomination and submit. And that basically means that you will now use the ATO nomination instead of the OS key that you have set up in GovReport previously only for ATO lodgements. Once it has been done, you can go back to your dashboard. And I think the other thing I have missed out is the security. I'll just go back to the settings. Now, because this is a testing account, it doesn't show the additional security settings that you have, but from here. So I'm going to just I'll go back, sorry. The additional security settings that we have introduced in here is the two-step authentication. Now, this is because, look, as more people going online, there will be more online issues, basically hackers that will try to access your account. Late last year, we had so many other software providers being hacked, or system or the client's account has been hacked, not from GovReports, but luckily not yet. I don't want to speak to something too early, but certainly we hear a lot of these issues, and we have in the new versions, you can add additional security to your account to basically give you additional protection. Now, it's up to you to use it. Yes, we do. For a long time we have seen this as an issue, because just like any of you, you notice that my software, when I enter, the password is already saved on the browser, and of course it is not saved. It's to say, Google, whether it's Google Chrome or Firefox or Internet Explorer, it's basically all these browsers that you go into, they all save your password. I mean, someone else is also having your access to your username and password to every application that you enter, and of course your computer system. So you leave your computer, you leave your phone, and your all these facilities that you have. You hold personal and private information, not only on your own, but also your own details, but also your clients. So it's up to you to use it. We provide the facilities, and if you find it inconvenient, it's your choice. But the two options that we have at the moment, the first one is basically, if you select that, it means that besides the login, the username and password that you use to log into GovReports, once you activate this, each and every time that you log in from any new computer, it will send you an email, and we'll send an email to you with one-time password. What is the one-time password? One-time password is basically, you only use that password once. The reasons we introduce this is because the intended person that set up the account with us should be the person that will be the person that receiving the security code in order to re-enter the GovReport and be able to access to the information that you have on the account. I find this inconvenient because many BAS agents do work on client sites. And what that means is that, if you don't have access to your clients, your own email from your client site, then this would be quite inconvenient. But having said, this is why we also introduced a second option, and you can use both if you want to. Activate additional security for access reports. So that means each time you go into the reports that you have drafted for your clients, then you would need to enter the password. The password here is basically a list of questions that you can choose from, and of course the customized answers that you have, and you need to remember that. You can use both options or one of the options, up to you. We will be also introducing new security options in GovReports in the next couple of weeks or months. More options for you to choose from, and you just choose the one that is suitable for you, or the ones that you feel you prefer. So it's up to you. Because this is a testing account, I won't be activating any of the security because just me, I don't remember any password. I'm not too sure other people, but for me, it's even my own bank account, I never remembered any passwords. So and I do like the fact that the browser saves my password, but it is posing a risk. So that's basically, it's up to you to want to use that. So once you've done the additional security settings, you can then go back to your account. Now, this is the only other settings that we have, the Manage My Account settings. It's where you manage your relationship with us, your subscriptions. It's basically now it's a lot clearer for you. We spell out all the details so that you basically can manage you know exactly where you are with us. You can go to the list of all the previous purchase that you have, your purchases. For those that are using us for per lodgement, you can then check up basically the payment history, when you make the payment for each one, and of course the transaction history for all your lodgement if you use us for as per use or per lodgement. And of course, if you want to go into shopping cart, you want to add more services, you can go from the manage my account or the my purchase, but you can also go through from the shopping cart. All the subscription that you already have subscribed, certainly you cannot purchase more. So it basically, to stop the confusion that you might have in subscribing or whatever. So if you don't have, basically you can click whatever is suitable for you. So it's a lot more clearer, and I believe so. So yeah, you can see the relationship that you have with us in a much more detailed description. So that's basically all the settings. Now we're going to go back to the dashboard, and for now what I'm going to do is to go through the lodgement process. Like I said, you can go through for My Clients and click on the client's name. That would take you to the client's profile page, or you can from here under Actions. There's the 3 dots on the left, on the right-hand side. Click on View. Basically, that will take you to the client profile, or click on Forms, and you'll be able to get access to all the forms that you have subscription to. You can select the forms that you want to work on, and it will take you to the form and the same process. Let me go through in the new version, from the dashboard. So from the dashboard, if I want to select that client, a client that I want to work on, select one. I want to expand my screen, so I just close that. Now this is the client's profile page. Immediately when you enter for My Clients, if you click on View or you click on the client's name, it will take you to the client's profile page. From here, you can see the work in progress for those that got access to CLM. You can see the work in progress that you have for this client. Today's job, overdue job, and upcoming jobs, and of course you can create, a job from here as well if this is a new client for you. So that's basically the CLM access from the client profile. The overview will be basically give you the overview of your client's details. So if your clients have changed the address, or you want to update the address on there, or they have changed their trading name, or adding a new branch, they now have a new branch or a new business with the same ABN number. You can click on Add the Branch right there, and because look, we have in many cases I have seen that many people call us and say that well they can't add another new client for this client with the same ABN because our system does not allow for duplicate of anything, duplicate of clients, duplicate of users, or duplicate of tax agents or BAS agents or agents who register with us. The reason for that is because you can only be at one place we believe so, and we don't. And this is also to minimize the possibilities that people use your data to set up an account or whatever. So, like I said, if your clients have a new business with the same ABN number, you need to go in, change the branch number, and enter the appropriate trading name for that client. And of course, if it is a different contact details, you need to also enter the details. Now, just let me go back to that client profile. And of course, the contact address, you can click to, if you want to change the client's profile or anything on the clients, you need to click edit, and then that will enable you to go in and edit the client's details. From here, you can see, you can upload the client's logo. If you've got a lot of clients, if you've got 1 or 2 clients or a couple of clients, it's okay. It's pretty straightforward. You can easily go straight into that client and search for that. But if you have a lot of clients, I like the idea you add the logo so that you can see that you can identify, pick them up, pick the client from the client list. A lot easier. at this stage, we haven't enabled you to print out a report. When you prepare a report with GovReports, we haven't enabled, if you have added a logo, we haven't enabled that onto the reports that you have prepared. Later on, we will enable that, but for now, it's not there. It's up to you to want to use it, but it certainly, saves you a lot more time later on when we enable that feature onto GovReports. You can see from when you click on the client profile and you click edit their profile, you can see who has access to this client. So at this stage, I have added one person onto this account, all my users who has access to it. Only one person has access to it, only to prepare, but no lodgement. Go back to that, sorry, because I don't want to go back to the screen, so I'm just going to click back rather than go through the process again. And of course, this is a new thing, so of course anything that you have saved or draft for this client will be in the save column. So this is a lot easier than the old version when you had to go to My Lodgement or My Save Reports and see everyone and then search for that particular client. In this case, once you click on the client profile, you can, everything about that client, all the work in progress, all the things that you have done for that client, anything that you have lodged will be accessed from the client's profile in itself. Similarly, the lodge reports, anything you have lodged for this client will be listed from the client, will be listed and accessed from the client's profile. Who has permissions to get access to this client? This is as shown earlier, when we click on edit the profile, we can see that only one person had access to it. And of course, you can manage, because this person do not have the lodgement capabilities. If I want to change that, I can click. I can manage from here, manage the users. Click on the additional options and save it. Once it has been saved, it will update the system, and you then can go back and we can see that yes, that this person that can now lodge on that as well. And of course, if you've got the CLM, you can also track and the jobs in progress and the invoice, whether any tax invoice or that you have sent out to this client has been received or not. I've got another question from Esther. What is the meaning of validate when you complete a report and choose validate rather than lodge? Validate means that you cross-check the information, and it means that all the information, you cross-check the information with the ATO, and if it's come back validation, it has been validated, that means it's ATO is accepting the information that you receive, that you have prepared in that report, and it simply means that it's, instead of lodging it directly, you now can then send that valid report, validated report. That means it has been cross-checked with the ATO. No error has been found, and you can send it you can lodge it to the ATO. But of course, if you send that valid report to the client, it simply means that you check all the errors and it's all validated. It's all good to go. Okay, so now that's basically the. So I got another question from Kelly. Should the primary contact info for the client be the client's, that's the ATO that is info? No. From GovReports, from GovReports, when you set up the client, I'll just go back to that. The primary contact person here is basically it's your settings with GovReports. So that because when you do send out an email, so for example, you've got a save report for this client. We go to the save reports, and I'm going to just say I'm going to want to send this drafted report to a client for approval. When I click an email, it will basically get your client's details. If I click my client, it will have the client's details directly onto here. So it is, ATO does not have access to this info. Whatever that you have in GovReports right now, the settings, ATO does not have access to this. It's only for us to basically cross-check information with the ATO, and ATO, when you do a lodgement, it will check whether you have the authority, your OSCE. So if you're a BAS agent or a tax agent, do you have the authority to lodge for these clients? And if you do have it, you know, it's the ABN. Usually the information that are being used to check is the ABN, the OSCE, and the agent number. All this information needs to, that normally get checked. But what you enter into GovReports is not accessible by the ATO. Okay, I'll just go back to that client. Okay, to do the lodgement, I simply click on the forms in red and select the activity statements that I want to I select the tax return that I want to lodge for this client. In this case, my apology if I've got tax agents online here. The reason is activity statements are a lot easier for me to enter or to prepare. So I'm going to do a sample. Basically, once you get to here, I think for many of you who have been using GovReports, it's exactly the same process as you have. But I'll just walk through anyway for those that are new to GovReports. Okay, so once you get to here, you need to confirm the date range. The longer the date range that you have to enter here, so I put in basically between the 1st of October month to 2004 to 2008, so that's 4 years. So there might be a lot of activity statements there that I will be listing out. The longer the range that you put in, the longer it will take. But certainly, if you basically want to check whether you have done for all your clients have done all the reports for all the activity statements, that whether they have lodged all of them or not, you can simply check that through here as well. So now, once you click that, click list. Before I click list, there's an option. If the ATO, for whatever reasons, if the ATO is not working, it might be the portal might be down, or not the portal, SBR might be down, and you might not be able to lodge. There is an offline option, which basically you click here. Before you click here, because if it's an offline BAS, you do need to be very specific on which IAS or which BAS are you doing. So, for example, if you're doing the last quarter BAS, it will be from the 1st of October 2015 to 31st of December 2015. It has to be the exact one. You cannot list off a whole range if it's an offline, because offline means that you prepare. You just mean prepare manually and manually without the ATO pre-fill. And with that, you do need to clarify. If it's an offline, you need to clarify whether it's an IAS or the BAS, so that the system can pick up, can prepare, can give you that exact format that you want. But now I'm going to try to do it online instead of offline. Once you do, having said that, if you do it offline, once you save it, it will take you to the save report, and you do need to pre-fill it when the ATO is back online. So now, like I said, I'm going to try to do it online and see if it's going to work. Even though, like I said, even though this is a testing account, it still needs to, it is still interacting with the ATO. I put a date range very, very, very long, so there are quite a few options there for me. For this particular client, they have been noticed not lodging quite a few of them. Anything that has been processed or lodged previously, it will show that the status is revision. It's already been processed, and you would have the option to do a revision. So if you click revisions, it will take you back to it, and it will mark. You will need to mark it as an amendment when you lodge it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select any one of them, and just to show you through the same through the process. And I'm going to select I'm going to select manual instead of doing online. Or import the file from Xero, QuickBooks, or MyOp. I just don't have a backup file or the access to do that. So for those that have if your client's using software, you simply click on the ones that that they use, the software that they use, and you need to enter your username and password in order to get access and pull up the activity statements that relates to this client. For now, like I said, I'm going to do it manually. Once you get to here, you notice that the document ID, the form due date, and so forth, that these are pre-filled from the ATO. Check that, and if there's nothing, it's pretty straightforward. And of course, you can enter the details because this is I've selected manually, so I need to enter the details. I'm going to, for simplicity, I'm not going to enter anything. Assume this person has not done anything during this particular period. You also get the PAYG installment amount, the SBT. Make sure you sign it, which is the date is today the 27th. Click next. As you said, so we have 5 options here. You can save as a draft. If it's an incomplete, if you haven't got all the figures from your client, you can save it as a draft and then come back to it later when you have these figures. Otherwise, pre-lodge means it's just basically you're testing the data, making sure that it's matching with what the ATO has on their database. Now, if you click pre-lodge, your report will not be saved. So that means that if you need to come back to it and lodge it, you need to just start again and just start the form again and fill in the details. Save validate means again we'll save it. It will validate and then save it onto GovReports so that you can send them forward and send to your client for authorization or whatever. Then we have the option for save, validate, and send for signature, which is for those people that have digital signature, additional service. This is the additional service. So basically, if you've got that option, you can save, validate, and send for signature, and that would take you, once the system has validated the reports, the data with the ATO, it would save it and then take you straight to the setup for digital signature. And of course, if you're ready, you can lodge it if you do not need to wait for your clients to sign. But now what I'd like to do is basically go through the other process. I'm going to save and validate this activity statement. Once it has been saved, it will take you to the save reports, where where it lists out all your save reports. This is the activity statement that I've just saved and validated. I can click, like I said, I can click tick it and lodge the selected, or I can, if I need to send for signature, either I just need to click onto the report that I want to continue work on. I can email it. I can print it and have a downloaded version, or I can email it to my client, and that will attach the activity statement that I have just drafted. I can customize. I can change the details to myself, or I can change the subject. I can change the content depending on your what you want to put on there. But it will attach the activity statement. And the unfortunate thing is that I think that we had an earlier questions earlier today whether you can attach the letter of authority here. No, you cannot because it's from GovReports, so you cannot. But you certainly can do that from within digital signature. So I'll walk through the digital signature. Instead, we're gonna try to send. Having said that, if you do need to change anything on this the drafted activity statements or this report, you can click edit, and it will take you back to the form, and you can change the figures as you want and revalidated it, and then send it off for signature again. For those, I'm assuming at this stage, I'm going to assume that we're happy with everything, and we're going to send this off for signature, digital signature. On send for signature from the action icon. So I'm going to just go back to it again and send off for signature. Like I said, because this is a testing account, it is not as stable as it is in your production account. So bear with me. Send off for signature. Okay, once it's that would take once you click send for signature, that will basically take the report, bring it over to digital signature. You can see the attachment is already there. Now you can upload your additional documents, so that means it's letter of authority. It might be a tax invoice, that you send to your clients, and whether they want to accept payments or not. depending on your workflow, you can upload the file. So for now, what I'm going to do is I have downloaded some sample agreements. Just click that on. Pretend that's the letter of authority. Once I'm happy with the number of documents that I want to attach to this email or for digital signature, I can add the recipient. Now, it will automatically pick up my clients that I have added in, I have entered in GovReports earlier. But of course, if I want to change that, just click on the name, just click on the field and change the name to whoever that I want to receive this email receive this and to sign it off. So you can change that. You can change the email address also, and this is whether this person is the signing person, or it's if it's not a signing person, but you only want this person to view only and add someone else as a signing as a signing person authority. You can do so as well. You can, like I said, you can add the new someone else into receiving these documents to sign. It might be a partner who does not have who do not need to sign, but it's they want to review the information that you have entered or you have prepared for them. Or it might it might be an accountant or tax agent who or an advisor who wants to see the report that the ongoing business activities of the client. So it's up to you. Once you enter the details, you can put in the name, the email address, and whether it's this person has the you want this person to sign. I will delete it very shortly because look, I start get confused as who I send it to and so forth. So if you want this person as a view only access, then just basically click view only, and then you can send a private message and say, yep, please review the document and advise your clients accordingly, or something like that, or just check with your business partner, etc. So it's up to you how you use the system. So for now, I'm going to remove this because it's going to confuse me quite a fair bit, and I don't have access to that just for now. Now, the private message is when you have multiple recipients of these documents, and you want each person would have a different role or whatever. You want to give instructions for each one of them. You can. That's a private message. But otherwise, the general message is for everyone to receive. Is basically you can enter the details here, and of course you can change the subject so that you can your clients can identify it easier, or and also the private message so the general message that go out to everyone that receive this document. Once you've done that, you can also then send for signature, or you can do the additional settings which we have recently added. Here, basically additional settings here are the reminder. You can set up reminder because this is a compliance reporting report. There is a deadline for each and every one of them. So for activity statements, there's a deadline. There's PAYG, there's a deadline. Tax returns, if your clients, if you want to put a deadline onto that, you can do so as well. It's basically if you click a reminder, if you want to set up a reminder, you can set up when you want this reminder to be sent out. So after you send out this document for signature, when you want a reminder to be sent out to your clients. So assuming that we have, like the activity statement is due in 5 days, and we want you're sending out this out to your clients right now, so you might want that, this is the reminder to be sent out tomorrow, and repeat every day for the next 5 days. And of course, when the document expires, because we're going to, set that it's going to be the due date is in 5 days, so the document is expiring in 5 days, and we want a notification that the document will expire in the day before it expired, so last day. So once we say that, now we had from early sessions we have people have been requesting whether the settings can be saved for all the clients themselves doing this and every one of them. We have discussed with the team, and no, we cannot do that simply because depending on your, we give that options, we'll consider that, but it's just that everyone's, depending on your, if you say that, does it mean that you only do activity statements, or do you, because if you do it for PAYG, it might not be the same date that you sent out, but also the fact that, when you prepare the reports, different clients will have a different deadline. So it might not be possible for us. But having said that, we'll look at that option at a later stage. So now, once you're happy with you've done the settings, click next, and that will basically list out, basically show you what the attachment that you have, and now you can mark where you want the signature to be. Okay, I'll just reset it. So I'm going to click next. Crossing my fingers. Once I click F5 to refresh it, the settings that I have will not be saved. It was not saved. So for now, I'm just happy that I hope this is going to save. It's going to go through. It's not going through. Let me see. Sorry, the internet is very low at the moment. So I'm just going to delete one file, so that's going to make it easier. Assuming that I'm happy with that. It works for me. Okay, it's not coming through. It doesn't look like my internet is strong enough to pull it across for now. So basically, I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to save it as a draft now. The next screen that you would see is basically, mark where you want the signature to be, and for each of the documents that you have attached. And of course, if you've got multiple recipients of the documents, then it will, you can set where you want each person to sign or whatever. So at this stage, it doesn't look like it's doing any saving for me, so it will not be saved. When your client receives it, when you send it off for signature, your client will receive an email with the file, and if they want to get access to the file, they need to enter the password that our system automatically generate once they click view, and of course they need to enter that password, the one-time password. The reasons that we introduce the security on digital signature is because, look, there are a lot of security issues that we have at the moment, and this is a financial report that you're sending out, of financial details. So it's the one-time password is it will send to their email. What they need to re-enter the email, get the password, and put it into GovReports the sign-in, and be able to see the report that you attach. All the instruction will be on the email that you sent out, so it's not working at this stage. So I'm just going to cancel that. So, but basically that's the process. Like I said, for those that want to explore more on digital signature, do come on register with the webinar, digital signature webinar, and I will be going into a lot more details. For now, if it has been signed off, possibly because I got locked out. Once you have sent it off for signature, the status will be updated on your digital signature as well as it is on GovReports as well. If you are awaiting for it to be signed by your clients, then it would say valid processing, and if it has been signed, it will automatically be valid and signed. So that basically, if it has been signed, then you can go in and print out the signed, print the document or view the document. That will basically show you the signed document that it's, it's really, internet on my side is really unstable. Once you click on save view document, it will show you the document which has been signed by your client. View. You can have it as a separate PDF or a combined PDF. If it's a multiple documents, multiple reports, it will combine as a one whole combined PDF or as a separate PDF, depending on your requirements. So let's click on that. Something's wrong. Okay, so that's basically the process. Like I said, this is a testing account. It's not as stable as I would like it to be, but that's where you get access to it. Save report. Otherwise, if you if you have changed some of the data, you need to delete it, and then you can set up another new one. You cannot resend for digital signature twice or 3 times or whatever. It will completely confuse the system. So if you want to send it off for another report for signature, then you have to prepare a new one, an activity statement or a tax return or whatever, and then send it off for signature. So that's basically the process. I'll go back to my clients. Now, for those that are adding new clients or wanting, this is the first time they use GovReports, you can add client one by one, enter the details, the ABN, or you can import the client list from previous software or from the ATO portal. For BAS agents, we have 3 options from the ATO portal. But for tax agents, this is a tax agent's account, so there are a lot more options, not only from the ATO, but also from the software that you use. So basically, depending on your requirements, let us know. But the instructions on the help guide how to import the client list from the ATO portal or from other software are here. If you click there, and you'll be able to access to the guide at the help guide, or how to import the client list. For users, my users, as I said before, once you click on my users, that will give you a list of all your users that you have on your account. If you need to add new, click add new. The important thing is the name and the email address, and make sure that you allocate the user license to this person. Once you allocate, and once you click allocate, and once you confirm the user license and also the name, once you save it, it will take you to your user list. From there, you click on the users. If you want to edit the profile, you can, the details you can. Otherwise, the action bar will give you the options to manage and control the staff access. So if you want to inactivate this person, if this person no longer working with you, you can inactivate that. Set the password if it's if for whatever he or she forgot the password. Reset the password. Set the password. Basically, you customize the password that you want them to remember or easier to access or to use, or reset the password automatically generated by the system. User permissions, you do need to get in there, and if this is a new user, or if along the way you want to change the role or responsibilities, you can go in and add I'll come back to that, Asa. So just want to finish this question. So for with the user permissions, you can, if you delegate the administrator privilege, that means they can do everything that you can do and access all the clients that you have on your account. Now, this does not give this person the access to change the settings on your account, but only to access all the forms and all the clients. If, on the other hand, you basically, instead of giving the administrative privilege to this user or this staff member, you can give this person can add clients or can lodge, whether they can add the new clients and whether they can lodge for these new clients. If not, just untick that and give them the forms access, which form and which clients you want them to get access to, and whether you want access to prepare the report, and whether or not you want this person to lodge as well. Once you click on anything, it will show update on your screen there that the changes have been made, and that means it's already automatically been saved. And you can then go log out, close that, and the system will update automatically. So that's basically, I'll go back to, I think we mentioned about the outstanding report, so that's basically the process. I'll go back to answer Kelly's questions. What was the answer to Kelly's question? Kelly's question was that should the primary contact contact info for the client, be the client or the agent. I know a lot in the past you have put yourself as the contact person, but if you are going to send email to your clients from GovReports, then you need to put your client's details in there. It's up to you. You can send it. Many of you have been using GovReports and to send email to yourself and then forward that to your client. It's up to you. We try to cut down your process and enable you to send your email directly from GovReports. Like I said, if you send it from, if you've got customized email, you now can track your email, the email that you sent out or the draft report that you sent out, and be able to know when it has been sent. If your client's saying that they haven't received it, then you can go in and check it if it has been sent or not. The other good thing also is that because it's sending from your email, your clients can identify you better as well. So entirely up to you. And the ATO, does the ATO get access to this info? No, the ATO does not have access to your client's information that you have on GovReports. Any other questions? Okay, it doesn't seem like I have any questions from anyone, but if you think of other questions, any questions along the way, just let us know. Send us an email or give us a call. I will also have this webinar. I have already have this webinar being recorded, so I will post it possibly tomorrow or the next day when this becomes available on the webinar page or the webinar listing page. You can get access to it and revisit it if you want to. Otherwise, like I said, if you've got other questions, just let us know. Okay, it looks like I don't have any other questions. Well, thank you everyone for attending this webinar, and I hope I have given you sufficient information to start using GovReports, the newer version, and let us know your feedback. As I said, there's a lot more features will be added along the way, so just look out. We will be sending out a couple of emails, and then after that, it will be there will be an update version, an update box or news that will be available from the dashboard, so you can see the changes or the new services that we have update on our system. So thank you again, everyone.